This is the announcement segment of Blind Android Users Podcast. Stay tuned to hear important information regarding the podcast, surveys, and the latest news.
All right, moving along, we are going to be discussing some news today. Austin, do you want to tell us what happened at Mobile World Congress?
So this year's MWC was, I think, one of the best in a long time. So with all types of different phones, first one is the bendable, twistable phones from Samsung and Motorola, which you can just wear on your wrist like a Wear OS watch. I don't know how they even invented that and how they even managed to bend the motherboard and CPU and all fit into one. The next one is a bit of an AI based. It's a T phone. This is made in cooperation with Deutsche Telekom. So it's mainly used for booking flights, and it can search for flights using many apps. And you can then ask it further questions, and then it can answer accordingly. And on a Max phone, on a Max 6, you can tap on the phone with your eye. I don't know how is that possible. We'll have to see that. I hope it comes into the US, because if it comes to India, even I may be able to unbox it, but I don't think I'll be able to use the eye tap feature. And then the Energizer. Wow, that phone, we need to have that phone. It's a 28,000 mAh battery. So that phone is like I don't know how heavy that phone will be.
Was the AI device you were talking about the Humane-AI-Pin thing?
Since you have already brought it up, the Humane-AI-Pin, it's like a badge or kind of a device where you keep two fingers on the device and speak to it, and it either translates it into a different language and speaks it out to you, or if you can ask it questions regarding shopping. What it also has, it has laser projection. So if you wanted to project anything, it can even do it on your hand. So you can just raise your hand and it will start projecting things at your hand. So it's a fascinating device. I hope it comes into the market.
Yeah, and it only costs $700 and then $24 a month from that point on.
Yeah, the
Kind of
monthly
expensive.
subscription. Yeah.
I think I'd rather get a phone and not have to pay monthly.
And there's the Xiaomi. I think Saleh will be able to discuss this one because he's the Xiaomi follower.
That's the 14 Ultra, right?
Yep.
Well, the 14 Ultra is one of the best in terms of camera because it comes with 1 inch of camera wide. I mean, this is the craziest camera phone I've seen in so far. Well, all those things, AI stuff, but a good camera is really a good thing. So in 14 Ultra, you get 4 cameras on the back, and all of them are 50 MPs, and they're taking really good photos. They say it's no Android phone, but Android phone and camera in the same time. Well, apart from Xiaomi, what I want to say about this 2024 version of this event is I can see some affordable phones being introduced, and most of them coming with stereo speakers, which is a great thing because over the years we could see those affordable phones coming with a really bad build, plastic, and even though they have a high volume of battery, they were not in quality of audio. Even looking at the phones from TLC, Techno, and Infinix, those phones have stereo speakers, which is something really good.
So Xiaomi has also launched a car. Saleh, do you want to comment about that?
Well, I'll comment on it when I have a car.
Yeah, so they launched a car that works on HyperOS.
Yeah.
Of all the things to announce at Mobile World Congress, I guess it's an automobile, right? So it is mobile.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. The TCL phones are the phones that you were talking about that are having stereo speakers?
Yeah, the TLC 50 series coming with stereo speakers, even the 50 and 50 SE model, even the base model, they come in with stereo speakers. The phones are not the best, and I don't recommend this to anyone in terms of accessibility because the specifications are not too high, though they're super cheap phones. But those are coming with stereo speakers and 24 kilohertz of audio. This is really good.
Is it called DLC or TCL?
TCL. I've confused because there is also the TLC television. The correct one is TCL.
Should we talk about the OnePlus Watch 2? That's an interesting device. It runs Wear OS, but it also runs a low power operating system. So they're claiming it can get up to 100 hours of battery life. And the way they're doing this is they have two separate processors in this thing and two separate operating systems. So when the watch is off, like when the screen of the watch is off and it's just tracking your daily activity like steps, heart rate, all that, it will be running one OS with a low power processor. And then when you actually turn on the screen, it'll put you in Wear OS and it will use the less power efficient processor so that you would have better performance. And it's an interesting concept. It's a huge watch. Warren would like this. It's 47 millimeters. It's got a 500 milliamp hour battery. It's pretty premium. They have what they call sapphire glass on the front, and it's stainless steel. Comes in 3 colors. It's it's an interesting device. I just wonder if this dual OS situation is gonna mess up accessibility. You guys have any thoughts on it?
It's not going to mess up accessibility, but I don't know how will we switch the OS. So like it's running a low version of OS when the screen is locked, but as you unlock the screen, it has to start Wear OS, or does it keep it running? And if it keeps it running, it will also have to run the high performance processor, so it will eat up battery life. Accessibility problems, especially on the lock screen when you see the tile. I don't know how will that work.
Yeah, I know when you Wear OS devices, when you first turn on TalkBack, uh, it takes a few seconds to even turn it on. So if they turn TalkBack off every time you turn the screen off and you have to wait for it to turn back on, it's going to be like at least 2 seconds before you can even interact with your phone, which won't be great. So I'm curious to see if this will be a good experience or not. If I had to bet on it, I'd say probably not. But I'm not going to be getting this to find out. But hopefully somebody else will get it and let us know.
And not only talk back, if to save the battery, they'll have to turn off the whole Wear OS.
True, but I'm sure they've figured out a way to suspend it and in hibernation or something. Because from the reviews, nobody really mentioned it being a horrible experience when you first turn the watch back on. But like I said, when you have to boot up a screen reader, that might be different for us. So Samsung introduced a smart ring, or gave us more details about the smart ring that they teased at Unpacked. And even though they gave us more details, I'm not quite sure what it is exactly. So it tracks your activity. They didn't say specifically what, just sleep, activity, and like day-to-day activity. So it probably tracks steps, heart rate, maybe blood oxygen, that sort of thing. But they haven't really said if it can replace a Galaxy Watch or not. If I might be interested in it if it could kind of replace my watch, because if I did use a watch, I would just use it to track my activity. I wouldn't really use it to interact with, because I mean, I think I'm already on record saying that Wear OS is slow, and like if I try to do anything on my watch, like I'd rather just pull out my phone and do it on my phone because it's much quicker. So I don't really use the watch for interacting with it, but if this ring could track uh, all my activity, it's that type of thing, just as good as the watch, then I might consider it. Do you guys have any thoughts on it?
I don't think it'll be accessible though. I don't know if it runs the Wear OS.
Well, it will be accessible because it doesn't have a screen, so it's going to be as accessible as the Samsung Wearables app because I'm pretty sure you'll have to do everything from within that app. And from my experience, that app doesn't really have any accessibility issues.
Did they say anything about the price?
No, they did not.
Okay, then I'll wait. Although I'm not really a fan of rings in general, but yeah, maybe it will be something better than the watch for some people, especially if it's cheaper, actually.
So the folks going to buy the ring should know that it won't help you track your fiance.
I don't know. Maybe you can
Yeah,
find my
you can
ring.
put some tag or something. Yeah.
You can use different ways if you want.
I just hope it gets more than. I think they might have said 10 days battery life. If it gets 10 days battery life, I'd be all for that because, with these watches that get like 3 or 4 days of battery life, it, I'm not, that's not like a feature that entices me because the way I see it is if you don't get a full week out of a device, then it doesn't matter to me if you get 2 days or not because my routine is either going to be I charge the thing every day or I charge the thing once a week. So, if this can reach that 10 days battery life and I could just like make it part of my routine to charge it at a certain point during the week, that would be nice. But if it's like 5 days battery life, then that means I'm probably going to be charging it every day just because I don't want to have to keep track of like, is this the day I charge it? What is my battery percentage today? Should I charge it tonight? That sort of thing.
So the concern is what's gonna be the size. I mean, how will we know if the size is okay for us, or is it gonna be adjustable?
So they do offer it in, I don't remember how many different ring sizes, but a bunch of different sizes. The only question is, I don't know how they're going to size you because most people, I don't think even realize their ring size. And if they did, is it the same as what Samsung says it is? So, if they're smart, maybe they'll just send you out a kit of like fake rings and let you try them all on before you place your order because, they are going to get a lot of returns if these things don't fit the way they're supposed to.
Just to bring the watch versus ring debate, and the watch also does not have a universal charger, so you need to definitely remember to take it with you if you're going somewhere away long time.